Okay, we need to talk because a cruise is not all inclusive, and they're betting on you not knowing that. Every single sailing, I watch people hand over money for stuff they never had to pay for. Not upgrades, not the fun stuff. Fees, sneaky little fees. I've got 7 of them that you should never, and I mean never, pay for in 2026. Add them all up on one 7-day cruise, over $300. 300 just gone. And it didn't even buy you a good time. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to keep a running total right here on the screen, and every fee you don't have to pay for goes on that counter. You watch it climb. And listen, this isn't me telling you to be cheap. I love a good time on a ship. You know that. This is about you deciding where your money goes, not them. Ask me how I know. Now, here's what actually happens to people. You find a good fare. You budget for that fare. You feel proud of yourself, as you should. And then you get on board and the little charges start. 5 here, 20 there. A little convenience that you didn't plan for. And by day 3, you're not even relaxed anymore. You're doing the math in your head, and every single time you got to use that card. And that right there, that is the thing I hate the most. Not the money, that feeling that deep down you just got played on your own vacation, the one that you've been working for all this year. And I know that feeling personally because early on, I paid for almost every single thing on this list. Nobody sat me down and nobody told me I had a choice. So consider this me sitting you down. Fee number 1, the bottled water package. This is the one that is so quiet, most people don't even clock it. You're booking, you see a little add-on, a case of water delivered to your cabin. It sounds smart, you need to drink water, so you click it. 12 bottles. A year ago, it was just a couple of bucks. Now, I've seen it hit $35 to $40 just for that one case. For water, y'all. Here's why this matters. The water in your bathroom and the water in the dining room is the same filtered water. It's safe, it's free. The only thing you're paying for is that little plastic bottle and that trip to your door. So bring a reusable bottle from home, fill it up on the ship. Fee number 2, and this is the tax on being human. I call it the oops, forgot it tax. You forgot your sunscreen on the counter at home, your seasickness meds, the ibuprofen, so you grab it on the ship. That sunscreen that's $8 at home, 20 to 25 on board. That little thing of medicine, same thing, 2 to 3 times the price. Add up a couple of those and you're already at $40. Easy, on stuff you already own. And it's not because you're careless, it's because they know you're stuck. You need it because you got that headache, and now that's the whole game. So the fix is boring, but it works. A little Ziploc bag. Put all your sunscreen, your pain meds, your seasickness things, even things like Band-Aids, whatever you need to take. Pack that first before the cute outfits. Look at that counter, y'all. 2 fees in and we're already at $80. And we ain't even gotten to the ones that sting yet. Number 3, the cruise line transfer. This is the shuttle from the airport to the ship or the ship back to the airport. They offer it to you like it's an easy button. But that easy button runs you what, $50, $60 a person? For 2 people, round trip, that's over $100 just to ride to the port that's 20 minutes away. Now, why this matters? An Uber or a taxi for that same ride is usually about $30 for the whole car, not per person. Same road, same 20 minutes. You can even schedule the ride ahead of time so that you're not waiting when you walk off the ship. I'm putting a conservative $55 on the counter for this, and honestly, for most couples, it's more. And I know shuttles and boarding don't sound sexy, so stay with me, because the next one is where most people lose the money without ever feeling. Fee number 4, paying to board early. Carnival's faster to the fun. Royal's the key. They've got a version on every cruise line, and it's dressed up like a VIP thing. $60, sometimes more, to get on the ship a little bit sooner. Now, here's the part that gets me. If you just pick one of the earlier boarding times when you check in, which is free, you get on the ship maybe 15 minutes after the people who paid. 15 minutes, y'all. That's a bathroom break. Unless the program comes with a perk that you actually need, paying to walk on early is money for nothing. We're at $195, y'all. And I want you to notice something. Not one of these 4 fees has been a fun thing. Nobody's vacation got better because they bought bottled water and a shuttle. That's 4 fees, almost $200, and zero joy. Stay with me, because the next 2 are where the real money is. Fee number 5, the corkage fee. A lot of lines let you bring a bottle of wine on board, and that part's great. We love wine. But the second you carry that bottle into the main dining room or a restaurant, they hit you with that corkage fee to open it. And that fee has crept up. I've seen it over $35 on some cruise lines. Do that a couple of nights and your free bottle just cost more than the wine did. The move here is to pour the glass of wine in your cabin and walk to dinner with that glass, not the bottle. No bottle on the table, no corkage fee. Same wine, same dinner, $35 stays in your pocket. Fee number 6, and this one is the biggest on the list. Booking every excursion through the cruise line. And I get why people do it. It's right there on the app or on the website. One tap, it feels safe, but there's a markup baked into that convenience. The same tour, the same ship, the same guide is often $80 or $90 through the ship and $45 if you book it with the local operator. 2 ports, 2 people, that's $90 or more gone to a middleman. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, because that's what we do here. There's one real reason to book through the cruise line. If your tour runs late, the ship waits for you. You book it independently, and the ship's gonna say bye. So if you're on a tight schedule and the port time is tight, or somewhere far from the pier, the peace of mind can be worth the markup. But for a beach day that's 15 minutes from the ship, you're paying for extra for a safety net that you don't need. Know the difference. That's all I'm saying. Now look at that counter. $325. And we still got one more to go. Fee number 7. Buying the biggest Wi-Fi plan for everybody in the cabin. Cruise Wi-Fi got faster. A lot of ships now run Starlink, and they pass that cost right on to you. And that top streaming plan can run $25, $30 or more a day. Buy the premium plan for 2 people across a week and you're deep in the hundreds. So here's the thing. Most of us don't need to stream Netflix in the middle of the ocean. If you just want to text, check email, post a picture, you can get by with a basic plan. Or grab travel eSIM that works in port for a fraction of the cost. And just use the ship's free areas. I'm putting $60 on the counter for the overspend, and for a lot of families, it's way more than that. And that's the list. Now here's where I have to be straight with you, because I know some of y'all are gonna come at me in the comments, and because a couple of these have a flip side, and I'm not gonna pretend that they don't. But before I give you the total, let me do the honest part. Priority boarding. If you've got a same-day flight and a tight turnaround, sometimes it's worth it. The excursion through the cruise line, like I said, that ship weight guarantee is real on a risky port. And I'm not touching your daily gratuities. Those go straight to the crew who make your bed and serve your food, and those folks earn every penny. That's not a fee to dodge. That's tipping the people taking care of you. So this isn't the be cheap kind of conversation. It's know what you're paying for and pay for the stuff that's actually. Let's see the real number. $385. 1 cruise, 2 people. And every dollar of it went to stuff that didn't even make your trip one bit better. No memories in there, just water, a shuttle, and a line you skipped by 15 minutes. You know what $385 actually is? That's the deposit on your next cruise. That's a real excursion that you'd remember for years. That's a nice dinner for 2 and money left over. It's not that you can't afford these fees. It's that you shouldn't have to hand it over just because nobody told you that you had a choice. And now you know. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you already know this is the whole reason this channel exists. I'm not here to tell you that cruising is too expensive or to scare you off a vacation that you truly deserve. I'm here so that you walk on that ship knowing exactly what your money's worth and what's just a trap with a smile on it. That's the difference between spending like a first timer and spending like somebody that's been around the block a few times. You're getting there, and I can tell. You're already the kind of cruiser who reads the fine print, and I love that for you. Now that you know which fees to never pay, the next thing you need to figure out is what a cruise actually costs you, start to finish, once you add up everything that's real. Not the fare they show you, but the real number. I broke that whole thing down, and that video is right here.